Mel and I'm the owner of Adeling. I created Adeling as a way to explore my Filipino-American identity and also to connect with others who grew up Filipino and might have had similar experiences to me.
How has your Southeast Asian upbringing in the Orange County influenced your journey?
The area that I grew up in was predominantly Caucasian. We did have other minorities. I hung out a lot with other Asian groups that were not Southeast Asian or Filipino. So going there and feeling like,
oh, I'm kind of different from everybody.
I remember eating shrimp chips in class and then a girl was like, you need to put that away, that smells like aquarium. And then I remember I brought bangus to school and then people were like, ew, what is that? And so I was just like, oh my god, I think my food is stinky and ugly. And so I felt like I had to like not eat it. I was just like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And you want to fit in and everything like that. So that was that experience with like my food. Then I went to a public school. There were more Asians there, but they were like East Asian. They weren't Southeast Asian. And I kind of picked up on like a hierarchy of Asians. And I would see people use Filipino as an insult to other Asians. Like, oh, you're so dark, you're so Filipino. As an insult, like, oh, you're so dark. Like, you're not Asian. I was young, I was like, I don't know who I am. And like, people are telling me what I am and what I'm not. So growing up, I had a lot of shame around being Filipino, just because I would just pick up on these unsavory statements that other people would say to me. And I didn't have a lot of representation around me about what it meant to be Filipino. And it wasn't until I became an adult and I started thinking about, oh, what are my beliefs? What do I truly believe in? Or what are things that people have given to me that I have said are my beliefs, but I don't truly believe in them? And that's when I realized, like, oh, people have been telling me like Filipino is bad or like used it as an insult. And then when I really thought about that sentence, like, oh, you're Filipino, you look Filipino, I was like, why is that an insult? I was born Filipino and you don't choose who you are. And there's nothing wrong with my culture. And that's when I learned to dismantle these beliefs that I didn't really hold true to my heart. And that kind of prompted me to start learning more about my Filipino-American identity, which is another thing in itself. There's like being a minority, and then there's also being a Filipino-American in a Filipino setting.
What prompted you to actually look inwards?
As a teenager, I didn't think about it that much. I was just like, when people would say things like, oh, you're so Filipino, you look Filipino, I would be angry when I heard those things, and I didn't think much of it until it was like COVID. I grew up more and I had a lot of time to think, and I remember somebody told me like, oh, you're so dark. They said something about my Filipino-ness. I became angry thinking like, why are you telling me that I look this way? I was born this way. I didn't choose anything about how I look. And that's when I started being like, why am I ashamed of being Filipino? Or why don't I want to look Filipino? And that's kind of like the catalyst that made me go, oh, there's a lot to unpack there.
So what's the story behind the name Adeling?
So with Adeling, I try to be really Filipino in every way that I can. And it's named after my grandparents, and I took the Filipino naming custom where you combine two people's names. And so I wanted to honor the people who taught me about Filipino culture, and that's my grandparents, Adelaida and Ding. So I took their two names and I combined it to make Adeling. And what's really great about that is that I found a lot of connection with other people too, because they see the name of my shop and they go, oh my god, that's my grandma's name, or oh, that's my name. And then I go, oh, is your name like Adelaida or something? And then they go, yeah. And then so just I picked that name not knowing that it would help connect me to other people.
What draws you to Filipino iconography?
With Adeling, I really want to showcase different aspects of Filipino culture. Filipino iconography has like a certain look to it, like a lot of packaging. So like the pasalubong snack packaging that has its own look. Our snacks that you get at Seafood City, they have their own look too. Like they have that quirky, playful brand look. And when you grow up in a Filipino household, you see these things all over your house. Or if you go to like your Filipino friends or family's house, you see it there too. And the goal of my shop is to showcase Filipino culture, or evoke a feeling of being Filipino or nostalgia. And so that's why I like to incorporate these different Filipino things in my shop. We have designs of like snacks, we have designs of like barrel man, like cultural icons that are uniquely Filipino. And so that's my goal, to be like super Filipino, and I want those things to shine through in my products, but with a modern twist on them.
So how do you navigate the balance between maintaining cultural authenticity but then appealing to a broader audience?
So a lot of people come to Adeling and they're like, oh, what is this? And I get really excited to share more about Filipino culture with these people. But in the end, there's like one group of people I want to serve. and it's Filipinos who grew up in the diaspora. Everything I do, I think, oh, is this group of people going to enjoy it? That's the group I relate to. Like talking about how I grew up in OC as a Filipino American, like struggling to find my identity and not seeing positive representation. I want to provide that positive representation for people, and the way to do that, I have to be very specific and niche with the products I carry. I do want it to be a certain aesthetic, very modern, but I also don't want to dilute the Filipino in it. There's one group I really want to appeal to, and it's Filipinos.
What challenges have you faced in sourcing or creating products that authentically represent Filipino American culture?
I created Adeling because I wanted to put my own spin to what I perceive Filipino American culture to be. It's like the lens at which I view the world. I found that it was hard to find Filipino items of a certain aesthetic. I knew they were there, but they weren't super accessible. And so I wanted a place where I could design my own things, but also curate other items that I found represented Filipino American culture. I made it as a response to the challenge of sourcing things or designing things because I wasn't finding it. And so I wanted to be that place where people could get those things. We have so much creativity in the Filipino community, and my goal is to uplift Filipino culture, not just through our products, but also the community. And so then it became more of a mission and a goal to work more with Filipino creatives to create Filipino products. It's like a twofold thing. It's like we're creating items that people feel proud of, that represent their culture, but it's also made by people who are Filipino, and it's like we're uplifting both things at the same time. We're showcasing our talent, and we're also showcasing our culture.
How has your entrepreneurial journey helped you embrace your Filipino-ness?
Having my business now, I'm meeting a lot more people, and I'm seeing a lot of new things too. Like I'm seeing new things about our culture being represented in different ways. I'm seeing people who are happy to see Filipino businesses. I'm in like a lot more positive environments and spaces where Filipinos are welcomed and celebrated. And seeing how people respond to my shop and the positive reception, it's been very healing. And also meeting people who have felt the same way as me, and knowing like, oh, I wasn't imagining it. Like there's something that made us feel this way. And to know that it just didn't appear out of nowhere. It's incredibly affirming and healing to see that we have this shared experience. And I don't think I would have been able to realize these things if I didn't start my shop. My shop has helped me meet a lot of people and grow a community, and also just see Filipino culture being regarded so positively and well.
I know you also have a background in tech. How has that helped you with your business?
I have a background in computer science, and I worked as an engineer for a bit before starting my shop. It's helped me really logistically. So I have like the technical know-how to do certain things. With my website, or like tools I need to make my processes a little bit easier. But I also think it's helped me think of things in different ways. I think there's certain principles in coding that make things more efficient, and that you can apply them to just real life things. Something I was like struggling with in the beginning, I've been shipping things through stamped mail. Some people choose to do stamped mail, which is completely free. But then like you think, oh, do I have to like handwrite everything? Because with Shopify, they generate a shipping label for you. But then you can't generate a shipping label when they choose a stamped mail thing. So knowing how to code, I was able to create something that will automate it for me. And then it'll create a label for me.
What's your advice for people who want to pivot?
So for the in-betweeners, I definitely relate to thinking, I want to explore something, but oh, I'm scared. Like I don't want to leave my security or everything I know behind. And I think the biggest thing I needed to learn and to accept was baby steps are okay. Like I used to think that, oh, I need to have like a full business plan, or I need to like have everything fleshed out. Everything needs to be perfect for me to leap to something new. But I've learned like, oh, I can just test out things, see how it goes. Like I can keep a job and then just do something on the side to see how people do it. And then if I feel like I want to work more on that, like I can. And having the courage to accept that things are not going to be perfect. The unknown isn't as scary as you think, because you can test out the unknown while staying in whatever you feel comfortable in. It's learning to take those little steps at a time so that you can build up your confidence to be okay in the unfamiliar. And so like do one little thing that you're like, oh, that's kind of scary, but let me just try it and see what happens. And then when you do that, it's like you're taking steps closer to your goal. And when you see that whatever steps you're taking to a certain goal, if that is bringing you fulfillment, if it's bringing you happiness, then I think it's worth pursuing, and you get that courage to pursue it more.
What are you excited about for Adeling?
I have so many product ideas that aren't out yet, but I just have a long list. You need to see my Notion. It's just got a long list. And so I'm super excited about being able to release those eventually, and also working with other Filipino creatives, because the number one thing I want for Adeling is to create that sense of connection. And so when I get to work on a project with other Filipino people and create like this Filipino product, that makes me so excited, and I have just a long list of things I want to make. And so just growing my shop, that's what I'm excited about.
Okay, well, where can we find you and Adeling?
You can find me shopadeling.com, or on IG or on TikTok at shopadeling.